Do now. And this thing take forever. I'm waiting for my mic thing, and it's like, yeah, it's taking forever. All right. Oh wait, never mind. Okay, now my mic is here. Hello, 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 chats, chats. It's plural. It's plural. Uh, so finally, I finally get to stream on other platforms all at the same time now. Again, like it took me like 50 tries to try to get like everything working, and now I get to finally stream on all platforms at the same time. Yay, finally. Oh my god, it took so long. I know, right? Cause like telling you, it's always TikTok with the problems. It's always TikTok with the problems. It's never like anything else. It's always TikTok. It's always TikTok. So TikTok is gonna have something different. Actually, no, they're not gonna have this something. They're not gonna have nothing different. It's the same. It's the same all across the board. It's all the same. Everything is the same. I was thinking of streaming like on something else too, which is the red site. I can't. I don't know. Oh my gosh, it's just like I don't know if I can like say certain words to certain things. Like I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna be playing the Blood Hunt today. Cause I finally got Squirrel Girl to level 60. So finally, yay! Squirrel Girl is now level 60. Yay! Oh my god, took so long. But I finally got her to level 60. I put some really good gear on her too. It's like lagging a little bit, lagging a little bit, a little bit. Not too much though. A little bit, but I did get some good gear on her. Let me see. Oh, yeah, we got new armor. Forgot about the new armor. Don't need that in the new seed too, because we're gonna need that too. I realize my game is lagging a little bit. Yeah, I just noticed that it's lagging a little bit. Uh-oh. That's bad. Yo, what's good average? What's good average? I'm finally streaming in other places. Finally, all together now. Again. Yay. One big happy family. Yay. I can't believe it. Wait, am I lagging? Okay, no, it's just like every time I'm switching. Yeah, it's every time I'm switching. Okay, I was about to say. I better not be lagging in the game, too. I better not be lagging in the event. If I lag in the event, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be really, really mad. But yeah, I'm finally streaming on the other platforms and TikTok at the same time. So that's big yay. It's big yay. So hold on, give me 1 second. But yeah, I've been having fun with this event. I don't know why. I've been having like a ball game with this thing, cause like the event is fire. The event is like really, really fun. If you're like holding your mouse for like 3 hours. If you're like holding click on the mouse for like 3 hours straight, that's enjoyable. That's what I like to do. But yeah, overall the event's not bad. It's not bad, but I finally got two characters to level 60. I got Squirrel Girl and Moon Knight. Moon Knight I got him on level 60 the first day, and then Squirrel Girl took me like at least like a day and a half, a little bit. But I finally got her to level 60. She does like uber damage, which is like damn. It's like damn, but she's not bad. She's really not bad. She's really good for the event, honestly. Compared to Moon Knight, she does way more damage. But if you want like a tier list on like who's the best characters for this event, or like a top whatever. So number 1 is Squirrel Girl, number 2 is Moon Knight, number 3 is Jeff, and then number 4 is Thor, number 5 is Blade, and then number 6 is Punisher. That's it. That's my list right there. I've been focusing on Squirrel Girl because I was like, yo, if she's the strongest, I gotta get her. I gotta see if she is. Yeah, she is. She is. I walk out every game with like 200 200 something billion damage, which is like, damn. And like a bunch of kills too. And I'm like, yeah, nah, she's not bad. She's really not bad. But we got to Nightmare 80. This thing goes on forever too. I don't know. I heard it does, but because apparently, yeah, people are like Nightmare 160, and I don't know if there's anything like past that. I don't know if there's like a Nightmare 200 something or 300 something, and then you can see like a bunch of people are using Squirrel Girl on the top of the leaderboards. Yeah, Squirrel Girl there, another Squirrel Girl, another one right there, SG right there, another SG. And it was like, yeah, there's SG and then 3 Moon Knights. But yeah, she's not bad. She's looking not bad. I'm trying to see if we could see their. Oh, you can't see their gear. Oh, my stuff is like, okay, his stuff is better with the weapon and the armor and the seed. Can you get actually better S tier stuff? You can. You can get everything on S ranks on the extended effects. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. But yeah, it's like I said, it's not a bad event. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's good for the challenge. Really good for the challenge. But anyways, without a further ado, I'm also gonna like close some stuff out real quick because I don't want my game to like lag really badly. Hoping it doesn't. But yeah, our goal is to just try to get to like on the leaderboard. I'm also thinking of doing this solo. I might do a solo because yeah, there's like 4 stacks and then there's like a 1 stack that you could do like solo. Like this guy got like 3 minutes, which is like damn with Squirrel Girl. And then I also got to see like who's on. Yeah, my boy Wolf is at 95. Damn. All right, yeah, that's like crazy. Anyways, you know, one of my friends is also playing the Blood event right now too. He didn't invite me earlier, but I was like, I don't know. I had to go do some stuff. But let's hope we don't lag. If I do lag, I might have to restart the game. I might have to reset it, or just pray I get a new PC. Maybe one or the other. One or the other. It's loading. It's loading. It's loading. Like, yeah, maybe I have to reset the game. Oh yeah, it is lagging like hard. Am I getting any kills? Yeah, I am getting kills. Sorry. Yeah, I'm already with the 116. It's not bad. Oh, is there another Squirrel Girl here? Yeah, there is. I got a blicky. I got a blicky on my little slingshot thing. Got a blicky. I put a blicky on my slingshot. I'm hoping we beat this. To see me rapid firing right now. What the hell with my acorns? Just here we go, rapid fire. Just bam, 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 bam. I love this build so much with her. I love it so much. And yeah, I'm like still with the highest kills. And this is the one we have to take out a certain number of them. The Squirrel Stampede. I'm just low-key just rapid firing. It's just a rapid fire that's like insane with this build. It's so stimulating too, just hearing it. And I got gold armor. Let's go. Yeah, I noticed I'm lagging too. I'm like at 130 ping right now, and I just got another gold armor. Yeah, the Moon Knights are dying so much. They already got 106 billion damage already done. It's not bad. Alright, let's get Final Prey, and then we're gonna get a Lethal Strike. So we're gonna do 10% damage. Damaji. Damaji! Yeah, I just gotta keep him in bay. And I'm just lagging straight up. What the frick, bro? You know, I'm just like lagging straight, like badly. Got 130 ping already. Damn. Oh, got something gold. I just realized my cooldown, yeah, my thing goes like so quickly. Yeah, like it's 11 seconds. I guess it lasts for like a while. Why is it like 11 seconds now? Oh, that's always because of the seed. I got like 130 ping already. Like, damn. Oh, someone disconnected. That's crazy. Who was it? It was the other Moon Knight. It was the Moon Knight I was dying so many times. It's the Moon Knight with the level. He was a level 40. Wait, I just noticed that. Why is he? Why was he in here? If he was a level 40, why was he in here? I saw he was dying so many times. He got level 40 gear and he's a level 40 Moon Knight. So that we're almost done. We're only on the second phase, and it's gonna be the boss fight's gonna be bad because like now we're down one person. My ability only lasts for a short time too, which is like I should get the one that lasts for like 40 seconds. I mean, I'm doing a lot of damage, which is like making up for the ability code, the ability timer, so that's not bad. Missing like three of them. Where? Oh, right there. It's one right there. Two course quarters or not. You know, I'm gonna chill up with this other squirrel girl. Me and this squirrel girl gonna. I hate that my left shift was like lasts for so little. I hate that it does. I hate that it's like lasting so little. Yeah, I'm about to say this Moon Knight could just come up here. We could just chill. We're just low-key surviving doing this. It's not bad. The Squirrel Stampede! Damn, 364 ping. Damn. Yeah, my ping is like so bad right now. And my ult is like so delayed. Get Boss Hunter, why not? Yeah. Oh, it's these guys. Yeah, I am lagging badly. Holy. Like, internet lag badly. Yeah, I am like lagging so badly right now. I hate that I'm lagging this badly. Oh, there goes that Moon Knight. Oh, it's Dracula. Oh no, it's Cap Wolf and Ratataskar. Yeah, we're gonna die here. Bro, why am I lagging so much? Another game sounds like garbage. And I'm dead. I am lagging so badly. My internet's lagging so badly right now. What the f... Oh, is she dead? Oh, she died. Okay, okay, good, 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 good. So we can just now do damage to this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna reset my game after this. See if that helps. Come on. So then I can finally beat this. Now we gotta be careful with him. Yeah, now he's gonna start one-shotting. And he's dead. There you go. Let's go. Let's go. Finally we did 80. Oh my goodness. I mean, that wasn't too bad. I'm gonna reset my game real quick, just to see if like how's with the lag. And it's not. And I got MVP. Nice. Look at me, MVP. Yay. I'm gonna reset my game real quick because like it is lagging. It is lagging. That's what it's doing. It's lagging. And I hate that it's lagging. Game. Game, are you good? Are you good, game? Are you good? 'Cause it don't seem like it. I think my game is not good. I don't think my game is good. I don't think it is. Oh, there you go. Finally. Oh. Yeah, no. She's good. She's good. She's not bad. She's not bad. Yeah, career level 80. Yay! More shards. More accessory shards. Now for 85. Not right now, though. I gotta reset my game real quick. Did we get better armor, though? No, we did not. Okay. I'm trying to see, like, all the bonus stuff. The bonus stats. Or the bonus effects, whatever they're called. Alright, I'm gonna reset my game real quick. Because my game is, like, lagging so badly. Don't know why. And there's also that the audio stuttering, which is also annoying. So I'm gonna reset my game real quick. Just real quick, real quick, real quick. Gonna reset the game. Gonna already open it. But it's so stupid why it does that. It's so annoying that it does that. Alright, let me reopen up the game. I don't know why it was lagging and stuttering and doing audio stuttering like that. It was weird. 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 Hinting that I need a new PC. That I need a new computer. I definitely need a new computer. Because this thing is like really showing its age. Like on how bad it is. Yeah, give me a second. Yeah, it was good, Rosa. It was good. Let me see if this opens up. Hopefully it does. Hopefully it does. See if this works. See if quitting the game and then opening it back up. See if that works. Hopefully it does, because I really want to. We finally beat level 80. We finally beat Nightmare 80, which is like I've been stuck on that one for like a while. You finally got. Yeah, I heard they brought back the Candy Blossom. I heard they brought it back, which is like ah. I have not played Roblox in like months, cause like there's better stuff out there. There's better games out there. Which I've been addicted to Marvel Rivals for a while now, and I've been playing the new mode for like 2 straight days already. It's low key fun. It's fun. It's fun. It's really fun. It's fun. Cause F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me. N is for anywhere and anytime at all. Right here in the deep blue sea. I'm hoping this thing. I see one of my friends was playing too, playing the event also. They did invite me, but I was doing stuff. So I was like, damn. I'm hoping they invite me again so I could play. I don't even know what nightmare they got to. Yeah, I don't even know what nightmare they got to. Why is it taking forever to load? Come on, game. Come on before TikTok says, hey, unoriginal content. You, unoriginal content. Get out of here. And then they took my thing away, and I won't be able to whatever stream ever again. And I would have to put the other platforms to the Gulag or the Shadow Realm until further notice, which kind of sucks. It kind of sucks. It does suck. It sucks. Look, you want a new PC though. But yeah, let's see. It's loading. It's taking a while to load, but it's loading. Maybe. I don't know. But right here, the deep blue sea. Gonna make some random noises until something happens. Thank you, 6-7 Love, for the follow. Appreciate it. But yeah, we finally beat Nightmare 80. Goal is to try to get to leaderboard. I want to get on the leaderboard. I really want to get on the leaderboard. It looks like 160 is like the limit. I don't know. It might not be. They did say this thing is endless, so I'm gonna test if it is. But it looks like a bunch of people got to 160. So I'm like, okay, maybe 160 is a limit for Nightmare. Probably isn't. Don't know. And I don't know if the game is running. It says it's running. Damn, I have 500. Damn, 527 hours on this game. Damn. Damn. Just damn. It's a whole lot of hours. And I also gotta get the Season 2 Battle Pass done. Why is the game taking forever to pop up? Marvel Rivals, come on. Why are you not popping up? Been waiting here for almost a minute. It's not showing up. It says it's running. I do see the thing that says run. Hold on, I'm gonna. Hold on. I hate when this happens. I hate when this happens. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much. Pisses me off that it does this. And it's not even with this. It's with with TikTok Studio doesn't even do this. It just like loads right up. What audio? Oh, I think that was my alert, wasn't it? Because I don't know if my alert is working. Because like every time I'm like have my alerts on or the thing to sound the alert, it doesn't do it. So I'm like, huh. If it did, it's just all Invincible stuff. It's all Invincible because like I love that show so much. I love it so much. Sad that season 4 ended. It was just like, damn, now we gotta wait a while for season 5. The Cecil! Cecil! I need you! I need you, Cecil! uh, man, I like that show. That show's fire. I read the comic books. I mean, like honestly, I want to say this: like the show did the whole Thrag thing much better than the comic book, honestly. Because like it was building up suspense, and I love that. Like Mark was going through it, man was really going through it, and then he was like, "No, we're still here," and he's like, because like yeah, none of that stuff that happened in the season 4 finale was not in the comic books until like the whole Thrag meeting. That Thrag meeting was straight from the comic books, except like I think Omni Man was with him when they found Thrag on Earth. I think yeah no Omni Man was with Mark that time. And I know season 5 is gonna be even more better. Like, do I want them to fix the animation? Kinda, yeah. But at the same time, it's just like we're expecting a lot with them like for them to like dish out like episodes and stuff and like the quality of episodes, but it's just like time consuming. It's not actually, no, it's not time consuming. It's just like the lack of time that they have to work on like episode after episode after episode. So it's just like I get it, and yeah, it's also the budgeting thing too, the whole budgeting issue. So it's like I wish they could do more, but I get that it's just the whole budget, like spending so much, just like spending so much money on like getting the voice actors and getting the animators and stuff. So it's just like I kind of get it, but at the same time, it's just like the show is like it's still cooking, it's still good regardless of like animation problems or like all the other stuff. But I'm hoping they do better for season 5 of Invincible. And in the meantime, I get to watch The Boys because The Boys is ending. Sadly, I'm gonna miss that show. I'm gonna miss The Boys. Honestly, I might rewatch it again. Rewatch it from season 1, and then I gotta watch Gen V season 2 because I heard they're not making a season 3 because they're canceling it. Reasons? Don't know. I do not know. I do not know the reason, but they're canceling. They're canceling Gen V, which is like, damn. I didn't get to see season 2 yet, so I'm probably gonna watch it after The Boys ends. So I got time to watch it before the spin-off comes out, Vault Rising. I think that's what it's called. Which is like, yay. Also, why is this game taking forever to load, man? Like, I don't know why, man. Cause I want to play the event and then probably play quick match for a bit and then play comp. Cause I need to get that Black Cat skin for her. But yeah, and then, yeah. So I was like, I stood up from like, I was like up all night last night because like I was like scrolling on TikTok and I saw the streamer that I've watched on TikTok. They were playing Marvel Rivals and I was like, you know what? I'm not tired. I might as well like hop on the game with them. And I did. It was low key fun. We played the Blood Hunt event and also did a couple of games of quick match with her viewers. And it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. It was like a really fun. I got to play Spider-Man and I was like cooking a little bit and then I died a bunch of times, so I was just like, you know what? Yeah, let me get off Spider-Man. let me get right off Spider-Man because I cannot. I really need to like practice more with Spider-Man on pubs. Also, why is this game taking forever to load? I hate when my PC does that. Like, I'm pretty sure if I stop streaming, it's gonna pop. It's gonna pop right up. It's just gonna pop right up. That's why never never budget on a PC. Never budget so low on a PC. Spent $900. Spent $900 on this PC with everything. The case, the motherboard, the CPU, the RAM, everything. This thing was $900. I got it on a really good deal. I got everything on a deal, and this thing sucks. It's good for gaming, not good for streaming. It's not good for streaming at the same time. Gaming at the same time is not good at that because I'm overworking it. So I'm just like, yeah, I need a new one. I need to build a new one because like this thing kind of this sucks. It stinks. I was also thinking of like since I'm like streaming on other platforms and stuff. I was like also thinking of streaming on the Red app, the use of twos that app. I was thinking like what was it streaming there? Because apparently they made streaming better there too. So yay. Also, why is Marvel Rivals taking forever to load? I've been here for like almost a minute. It says it's running and it's not popping up at all. It's kind of concerning. Oh, there, finally, there you go. Oh, there you go. Popped up. It was so anticlimactic. It's kind of annoying. Anticlimactic and annoying. But yeah, no. I've been thinking about like streaming on the use twos. On the use of twos. You use twos. Why is your game not popping up on stream? Oh, there you go. Oh lord. Anyways. Ugh. They gotta add like Kingpin as like a character. I already know who's coming out. I have a slight idea of like the next two heroes. I know Cyclops is one of them. People are still trying to figure out who's the second character that's coming out because every season they always do two characters. I mean, the last time they did more than two characters was season one, and I was the Fantastic Four. But I have a slight idea of like the next two. I know Cyclops is one. I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure the second character is going to be Captain Marvel. I don't know. I look as soon as I got the page for like the last thing on the what was it called, the issue or the serial thing? Not the Blood Hunt one. I think it was like I think it was this one, the hunt is on. I think it was this one. This last one right here. And it says it right there, clear as day. And if the cafe hadn't been on a busy Manhattan street, perhaps Jean would have been able to read the mind of a mysterious figure watching them from across the street. A mind that somehow had the exact same thought patterns as the ex-woman sitting across the table. I'm like, that has to be Captain Marvel. That has to be Captain Marvel. Reason one. It was in a recent comic. I think it was not a recent comic issue. It was I think it was like X-Men Annual number 1 from like I think it was like 2013, I think. I don't remember the year, but I remember the comic issue. It was X-Men Annual 1, and Rogue absorbs Captain Marvel's like powers and stuff, and she also absorbs her personality and her weight and her brainwave like link. And somehow they're always like linked up to each other. They have like the same every time they're like close to each other, they're like on the same thought process and everything whenever they're like near each other. So as soon as I read that last part, I'm like, yo, that gotta be Captain Marvel. I'm like, yo, we're getting Captain Marvel and Cyclops next season. I can't wait. So I'm just like, that's crazy. I mean, it doesn't look like her. It doesn't look like Captain Marvel, but I mean, it could be. It could be just like the Marvel Rivals design of Captain Marvel, how would she would look in Marvel Rivals. But it might be somebody else. It might be somebody else. But the other character I could think of that has like the same like wave or like thought process or mind whatever that Jean Grey got from that mysterious person or whatever has to be Captain Marvel 100%. Or it could be like a different version of Captain Marvel. It could be like Captain Marvel 2099 or something. But that's what I'm thinking. I might be wrong. But we'll see. We'll see next season. We'll see in May. But yeah, I got this done, and then I got the season 2 battle pass to get over with the Hellfire Gala one. Cause this is the one from season 2. I need to get this done. I'm hoping they're bringing back season 3, which is the Abyss Awakens. I'm hoping they're bringing back season 3 to purchase, because I'm gonna get that too if I have money for it. But I'm never gonna get that one too if they make it viable again. And it's crazy part. I said that shit too. I said that like a while ago. Like, I'm like, if NetEase really wants like money, if they really want money, Allow people to buy battle passes that they missed. Allow them. Or have battle passes, like old battle passes, be able to be purchased again. And they heard me. I don't know if they heard me or they probably heard it from like mostly everybody else too that probably said the same thing too. But coincidentally, they released the season 2 battle pass again to be able to purchase it again, and I got it. So yeah, I got the Spider-Man skin and the Psylocke skin too. I'm trying to get the rest. I don't have a time limit, so that's like good. And then I'll have enough lattice to buy the next battle pass, which is gonna be nice. I'm hoping they add more skins to my girl White Fox and Black Cat. But anyways, yeah, it looks like no one's on. It's just me. Finally did level. We finally did Nightmare 80. That was like quick, but not too quick. Hoping I get better gear though. I'm probably gonna smelt everything down. I'm gonna hold on to that for him. Even I'm never gonna play fun. I'm never gonna play Punisher on this event. Yeah, I'm gonna smelt everything down. See if the I'm gonna smelt everything down and then yeah, let me just smelt everything. I forgot what was it that gave me that long like timer on one of my abilities. I think it was my left. I think it was the seed, right? Doesn't say it. During tail bounce interval firing, no. Rapid acorn fire enhancement during mammal bond burst acorn. No, it's not that. So it has to be. It has to be the slingshot. No, it doesn't even look like this slingshot either. It says anything about it. Because I'm looking at the bonus effects. Because the bonus effects are like the ones. I'm guessing it is the. I'm guessing it is the slingshot. All right, I'm gonna try to get. I'm gonna try to get a better one. Nope. Oh, this one's better. Bonus damage against bosses. Damn. Close range. I mean, it got like two S's, a B, a D, and an A, which is not. I mean, it's like. I mean, in terms of rating, it's better though than what I have currently. I'm gonna spend the last of my forge stuff. Nothing good. Hold on to that. Hey, at least if I do more damage to bosses, that's good on me. Then, let's do Nightmare 85. Let's see if we can beat it. So yeah, Squirrel Girl is so good for this event. I don't know, like, she's like so good. It's like lagging a little bit. I don't know why. Pick your hero or villain. I won't judge. Gonna get first blood. Why not? Get my alt down. Gotta make sure my left shift ability is like on standby. I'm gonna stay in a corner. Oh, another gold stuff. Nice. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be like the player with the most damage already. Get final prey, so I can get my ult quicker. Yeah, I mean I'm not lagging too much. My ping does go like high for some reason. I gotta figure out what's that effect, that extra effect that gives me the extra time on my mammal bond. Yeah, this is the one where we have to survive a certain amount of time. So squirrel stampede. You're already at 523 kills already. Damn, that's a lot. Am I the only one with level 60 stuff? Why is it? Wait, hold on. Why is there level 59s and 58s here on a level 80 on Nightmare 85? You know how long the boss fight is gonna be? Yeah, I wanna know how long the boss fights are gonna be. It's gonna be long. It's gonna be super long. Oh, okay. No, I'm good. It's about to say they're not doing too much damage though. I'm about to hit 1,000 kills. I'm about to hit 1,000 kills. I got a laser sight and a switch on my slingshot right now. That's why I'm shooting so fast. Got a laser sight and a switch. I've been saying this. I need a girl that's like the same body type as Squirrel Girl. Like I don't mind a little chub, you know. I don't mind a little chub. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of damage. Yeah, there's another ability too that I could do. So when I'm bouncing, my acorns automatically auto lock into enemies and auto locks. So I got a little bit of aimbot. Got a little bit of an aimbot. So whenever I'm like in the air like that, it just instantly goes to the enemies, which is good. And we're already at 1,000 kills. Can we shoot for 2? Can we shoot for 2,000? Maybe. Don't know. Oh, I gotta heal. Get that deep freeze. Already on boss fight? Oh, I didn't even know. That was quick. How y'all all die? That was a lot of damage there, buddy. I'm about to say I can't be the only one doing damage. Can't be the only one doing damage. Oh, my internet is about to kill me there. Yeah, it's gonna be a long boss fight. That was a lag. Gotta get away from him. I hear you hearing that like 300 times. It's the vigilantes never surrender. The vigilantes never surrender. A very noble sacrifice. A very noble sacrifice. That's all I hear every 300 times, and it's like, bro, can they give Kingpin new lines or something? Please. The noble sacrifice. How I got hit? I'm the only one doing a lot of damage right now.
gotta make that choice. You gotta make that choice when you want to
Okay, I'm back, chat. Sorry about that. My internet went out. I knew it. I called it too. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna lag out. I'm gonna lag out. Am I? And I knew it. I did. I hate this internet sometimes. I hate this Wi-Fi so much. What a passion. What a passion. It's with a passion. Yeah, and I can't even join back, which is like, damn. I mean, there's no point in any ways of joining back because like they suck. I'm not gonna lie. Their armor was like kind of their armor and their weapons and their character levels was like below, and I was the only one carrying, and I'm like, yep, nope. My charger's not working. Why is my charger not charging? Phone's dying. That's why. The New York concrete jungles where whims are made of. There's nothing we can't do. All right, everybody be level 60s. Nope. Oh, except for that Jeff. That Jeff is a level 60. Oh, you gotta be kidding me with the level 50. You got. You know what? I'm just gonna focus on this way. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna be carrying here too. Yeah, it's gonna be a long phase right here. It's just like holding a button. It's all about holding a button. I'm surprising that I am getting a lot of kills and a lot of damage. It's not bad. I'm about to hit 1,000 kills. Get that lethal strike. It's a hero at their peak. 8 to a minute. But I'm impressed. Raid! I'm lagging again. It's not my ult is coming out like so delayed. And also my acorns. Yeah, now I'm at 1,000 kills. That's crazy. Now, Schoolgirl is good for this event. Hate that I'm lagging. At 130 ping. It's annoying. It's kind of annoying. And I'm at 130, 150. Scary numbers. Get another final prey. Yeah. Yeah, because I know the bats are coming. And I'm dead. Oh, we all died. Of course we did, because we don't got no armor. Alright, I did a lot of damage. I hate that I hate that it lags. Like, it lags. I hate that it does that. It's annoying. It's annoying. Did we get any new gear? Any that's better than what I have currently? No. 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 I need to find one that, like, I forgot which one it is. Is it for the slingshot or is it for the seed? That gives me more duration on my... I'm trying to see. Precision damage, health, bursting acorn, rapid acorn fire enhancement during manual battle, bursting acorn speed bonus, blah blah blah. Which one gives me like the duration to last longer? Nothing there either. I'm pretty sure it's on the slingshot. I don't even know. I have no clue. No glue. I almost smell everything though. Yeah, I didn't get that much. Yeah, I didn't get off anything off of that either. Alright, number 85. Let's do this. Let's hope we get some people with level 60 stuff and level 60 heroes. Or being all squirrel girls, a whole team of squirrel girls, a whole team of squirrel girls. Come on, one more. Come on, pluck mass. Yeah, a whole team of squirrel girls. It's a whole team of squirrel girls. It's a squirrel squad. And we're all level 60. We're level 60 stuff except for that. Oh no, except for one person. It's not level 60. It's the squirrel squad. Get that first blood. Hey, got some gold. Let's go. Yeah, Boss Hunter, why not? That chain lightning. Alright, boss fight time. We're on to the boss fight. And we're back, chat. My internet went out again! My Wi-Fi is like hating on me right now. I got some boss fight and then it lagged me out right there. Got to boss fight on 85 and it lagged me out. Please tell me I can reconnect. It's probably too late already. Because they probably all died. %, they probably died already. Oh, no, they did not. What the? I really hate that I'm lagging right now. Yep, now I died. Because of the lag! Press the jump and I jumped and it went right straight into the ground again. Can I? I. And I can't respawn, bro. I'm pressing the thing to respawn and I can't. It's not letting me. Ah. How did you get me? You did the slide twice. That's not fair. Ah, that was not fair for that squirrel girl. She's coming after me. Came after me. I call hacks. I call hacks. I call cheats. Cheats. About to die. There you go. I did get 2 gold stuff. Let's go. I got 2 gold stuff. Excuse me. The Squirrel Squad. That's what we were. We were the Squirrel Squad. Gambit folds. Gambit never folds. The moon haunts you. Squirrel Stampede. That's the wrong character. Nothing better than nothing better. Still nothing better. Still nothing better. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Eat a burger with honey mustard. Nightmare 90. Oh my goodness. Oh, sweet lordy lord. Oh my lordy lord. Me like banana. Alright. Nightmare 90. Here we go. Hopefully I don't lag out this time. 1,000 ping. Oh, got something gold. Nice. Oh, something else. Got 2 gold. Oh, the lag. I am lagging. Holy moly. Both the Blade and the Moon Knight died? He died again. Another gold. That's 3 of them already. I'm already at 1,000 kills. Damn. Chain lightning, why not? Bro, there's so much shit going on, I'm lagging! And I better not die. I'm dead. We all died. It's too many of them, that's why. I'm trying to respawn. Let me respawn. Alright, where are the last two at? I'm fucking dead. I hate that my audio is like that. Oh my goodness. I lost that. I'm gonna see if I can get new items, new stuff. I hate that my audio does that. I don't know why it does that. I don't know why. It just does it. It's annoying. Of course, we get nothing better. Is that not better than what I better what I have? Nothing better. Alright, should I play quick match? Honestly? Yeah, should play quick match. For now. Alright. We'll play a couple rounds of quick match and then I'm gonna play comp. Play some competitive. Why not? Oh, fuck it, I'll play with Luna. Ah, you son of... Never mind. It don't matter. It don't matter. There's already like three... There's already like three healers. Oh, wait, no. There's already three healers. I'm gonna go Blade. Come on, boy, Blade! Eco Steel! I play a lot. I've been playing a lot. so much that I got like 4 lords already. I got like 500 something hours already. Like I got 500 something hours on this game. It's ridiculous, but it's so good. I'm addicted. I'm addicted. I'm addicted. I got a problem. I got an issue. I got a problem. What they got? Okay, they got 2 tanks. I see a healer. I hear Blade. Get over here, Blade. Yo, I am down whenever. I am down whenever. Oh, I am lagging. I hate that I'm lagging. Yeah, now they switched to Punisher. Bro, my aim is garbage. How I missed. Gonna get out of the invisible. I'm about to die. I'm dead. Taking a little break off the Blood Hunt event. I'm gonna take a little break, and that is playing quick match. And I'm gonna hop right back on the Blood event. It's not bad. Like the bloodhound event is not. It's not too bad. I'm already at 95, I think. Nightmare 95. I want to get on the leaderboard though. I hate that I'm lagging a little bit. I guess meals. Thank you. I can't right click. Oh, what happened? What happened? Game? Game don't do this to me. Game don't do this to me. And it did it to me. It did it to me. It did it to me badly. It lagged there. Look, you want new PC. New PC would be so nice right now. Because I keep dying and lagging. Alright, I'm gonna flank around. Why you stop my ult? I'm about to die. Yep, that again. Want to take a little bit of a break. Little bit, just a little bit. My internet's like so garbage today. Oh, I just realized the kingpin accessory is on his on the big giant blade. Probably gonna switch off blade. Jump that guy! Jump him! Jump him! It's only 60 seconds left. Gonna wait a little bit. Gonna wait. Face cold steel. I really hate that I'm lagging though. I'm about to say back up, back up, back up. Oh, bro. Yeah, I'm about to say stop that thing. You better stop that vehicle. You got them all. Victory! It's the victory! It's a hip hip hooray! I didn't get MVP, but at least I got 13 kills with the blade guy, blade man, the blade. Why are people always trying to ice skate uphill? They're always trying to ice skate uphill. I had to question what I was saying a little bit. All right, that's my break off. That's my break off of Bloodhunt. We're hopping back on to Bloodhunt. I'm telling you, the event is not bad though. Event super cool, super cool, super duper thumbs up. You know, super duper thumbs up. You know, I'm gonna say that it's not that bad. I just wish I wasn't lagging. Oh wait, no, I'm on Nightmare 90, not 95. I thought it was on 95. I'm on 90. I just wish I wasn't lagging in terms of internet and FPS. And yes, I got the maid pool skin. I got it. I finally got it. It was my last thing on the whatchamacallit, on the balloon thing. I got the maid pool skin. So fire. Oh. And that's my first legendary too. On top of that, I just realized that's my first legendary Deadpool skin. I mean, that is his first legendary Deadpool too, because he also has like the VFX and the colors. I need to get more whatever those are called, unstable molecules. Yeah, so I can get that last color, the pink one. I'm gonna rock with the red and black though. But yeah, I got the Made Pool skin, and then I got this color too, the blue and yellow. I really want to get the Squirrel Girl skin that's in the pass, in the event pass that's in right now, and that Moon Knight too. That Moon Knight is like fire. But I really want to get the Squirrel Girl skin because it looks so cute on her, and me like Squirrel Girl, me like her. In terms of body aspect and personality and how funny and goofy she is, I do like her, and I like the cat earphones that are pretty fire, and that little eye patch over her eye. I'm not a big fan of the jacket though, but me like Squirrel Girl like this. Yeah, this is Marlene Aline, the programmer. And then I do want to get all this stuff too, and this calling card. And then I do want to get the Psylocke skin. Because I now have two Psylocke skins. Like, I have enough points for it. I have enough points for it. I just don't want to spend it because then I won't have enough for the Battle Pass for next season. And then there's that Daredevil. I want that Born Again. Daredevil Born Again. What the devil? Out! I like that saying. Let the devil out! And then I really like this Hella skin. That's why I bought the Battle Pass for a reason, because like I like the Hella skin, and then I also like the Loki skin. If I like a majority of the skins in the Battle Pass, I'll buy it. If I don't like it, then I won't buy it. And the reason I bought the Season 2 Battle Pass is because one, Spider-Man skin was in there, the Sonic skin was in there, the Cloak and Dagger skin was in there too, the Hulk skin, the Joe Fixit one that I wanted to get, is also in there. That's why I bought it. I don't know if I want to buy this too. Cause I don't like the Star Lord one. I really don't like the Star Lord one. I'm gonna be honest, 100% honest. I don't like the Star Lord one. And then I switched the Namor one that was in here. The free Namor skin. It was this one. I don't like it either because the color and how it looks so garbage. So I got the Blade instead, the Blade Knight, because I missed out on it. It looks really cool. I was gonna get this one, the Chaos Crown, but I might get that another time. That's if the next free skin is like garbage. Or I might get the Iron Spider skin because I do want another Spider-Man skin. Or the Old Man Strange. I don't know. I don't know. Or maybe Mantis. I like Mantis. I have like a bunch of Mantis skins though. That's the thing. But let me see what else. I do definitely want to get the ESU. And I want the Hellfire Gala stuff because I want that Moon Knight skin. That Moon Knight skin is fire. The Suave Spectre. Suave Spectre. I really like it. I want to see what it looks like with. Can I see like the if it has any special effects or anything? I want to see. I wish I could too, but I can't. That's what I hate about TikTok. Emote is fire. I really don't like this skin. Like, I like it, but I don't like it because that headpiece and the cape looks garbage. But this fit looks fire though. I really like the fit. This cape looks garbage, and I hate that headpiece. It's so ugh. But I do like this though. I like the dress. I think is it a dress? I think it's a dress or a suit. I guess bodysuit. I would say bodysuit. Yeah, bodysuit, one piece suit, whatever. This looks fire. I really like this. But damn. But I like this. Cape don't like. Headpiece don't like. And then I don't know about the Phoenix though. I don't know about the Phoenix one. The Phoenix one is like, I really don't like that headpiece though. I really don't like that headpiece. Yeah, I really don't like the headpiece. They should have made this skin free, honestly. I mean, it's legendary, but they should have made this skin free and then put this one as a paid one. Cause like, oh my god, it looks so terrible. Oh, the full MVP for Emma Frost Gala Glam arrives next week. Okay, so we can't really see it. We can only see the picture. That's dumb. It's so fire. It's so fire. I really want that Moon Knight skin. Like, I really want it. Damn. Luckily, I got this though. Luckily, I got the Deadpool one. I'm glad I got the Deadpool one. It was on my last balloon too, which is like, bro, my luck is so bad, especially in gotcha stuff or in gotcha systems. My luck is like garbage, and I hate that it's garbage. Like, damn, is my luck really that bad? I have bad luck, and it's a sign that I have bad luck, cause like that Deadpool skin was was on the last balloon, and I got it on the last balloon. My friend got it on his second one, and I'm like, bro, how? My friend got it on his second one, and I'm like, bro, how did you get it on your second one? I got it on my last one. I really like it because like it's the swords. The swords are the wands, and I like it. And plus, it's made. It's a made outfit. Why not? Step one, a made outfit. It's funny. It's hilarious. I should have gotten that the shake your booty emote for him. Where is it? I need to find the shake your booty. Oh, it's this one. It's the aura farming one. That's the aura farming emote. Yeah, it's the boogie time. That's what I want to get. The boogie time. Oh, and he slaps his butt at the end. Oh no, I can say it. He slaps his ass. I really want to get it. I really want to get it just for that. I gotta see the Jeff one. Cause I missed out on this I missed out on this April Fool's one. Cause this was the April Fool's thing. Shaking his butt too. What's this one? Yeah, I know this one was free too, but wasn't playing on that day either. Just want to see yeah, Deadpool one. Mm. And then I also want to get this Black Cat skin. I really want to get this Black Cat skin too. Let's get a little kitty. And the MVP is also fire. Really want to get that skin too. I really want to get that skin and this Spider-Man one too. Yeah, I really want to get the Spider-Man one also. Damn. You made my man good looking. I like that. That made him good looking because that's what he is. He is good looking. He's good looking in the comics. Oh, and that nameplate is also fire. I don't know how to feel about that Blade one. Yeah, and I also want this Gambit one too. There's a bunch of stuff. Yo, I wish you could wishlist stuff in the shop. Like you could just wishlist it. Like you could just press like a button and it wishlists the thing, and then if you have friends, they'll see your wish list. Because they have it for Discord, where you could just go into the Marvel Rivals Discord server and like they have a dedicated shop where you could just wishlist stuff. This skin is also fire. I like this one too. I'm waiting for the Emma one because apparently it's Storm, Emma, Magneto, and Phoenix that have this series of skins. Yeah, because like there's Magneto's right there, the Seed of Autumn, and then you have the Seed of Spring. There's also Winter and yeah, there's Winter and Summer that are missing, which are Emma Frost. Emma Frost is gonna be Winter, and then Summer I'm guessing is Storm. Because Emma correlates with like Winter because she has a team up with Luna. Also, I'm thinking she was gonna be Winter, or maybe Storm is gonna be Winter, and then Emma's gonna be Summer. But it's most likely gonna be Emma's gonna be Winter, and then Storm's gonna be Summer. I'm thinking. And I also want this skin for Hela too. This one's like good, and this one for Emma. I like this one too. And I do need another skin for Iron Man, which I really want to get the tuxedo one. This one, the Dream Hack Atlanta 2025 skin. This one's like fire. So I really like the MVP and the way how the way the skin looks too. I like it. So fire. It's so fire. But, there's there's a bunch of skins that I want to get. I don't know about the Cloak and Dagger one though. Does she have? Oh, she does have a cape. Let me see her MVP. Are there MVP? That's not bad either. And then their color can change. Oh, this one makes them look like Assassin's Creed. I like that. Yeah, this one make them look like an Assassin's Creed type fit. And I don't like his. And they gave him legs. Just like weird. This one's also. I don't know how I feel about this color. I like this though. This makes like Cloak and Dagger look like. Well, it makes Dagger look like like assassin from Assassin's Creed. I really like that. I don't know if it does it for the Gambit skin. Gambit has like any customization, or is it this one? Because this one also makes him look like an assassin, but it doesn't look like he has any customization either. Damn. Oh, is Ken's gonna be on? Oh yeah, she's gonna be streaming in an hour, and that's the time I get off. All right, let's go. Let's do it. That's enough daydreaming about skins. We're gonna do Nightmare 90. See if we can beat it. Hopefully we can. Why am I on Nightmare 75? Oh my god, it's so laggy. It's lagging like a lot. Gotta get 3 freeze, why not?